Welcome back to this other video now. First of all, I would like to apologize for the noise, the background noise. I am trying to figure out something. I don't have a proper mic yet, but as soon as I get a new mic, I think everything will be clear. So today we're going to be doing the eyelashes. And quickly before we proceed, I just want to make sure that I'll be linking some resources where I got this tutorial in today's video. Because I got it from some lecturer, he is very, very good at illustrations, and I'm going to be linking his channel if I can find it in the description below. So I'm going to be leaving his this professor, I'm going to be leaving his channel in the description below. I don't know whether there are other videos. I got this long time ago, but I hope it will help you understand if in case you find that you don't really understand this very well. Okay, the principles are the same. There are just a few deviations because obviously the human bodies are different, and I'm working on different people as well. So try to use the resources that make you best understand. Okay, so today's process is going to be mostly a repetitive process, and as you can see now, I've put the eye illustration. I've put the eyelashes below the eyes because the eyelids are going to be below the eyes. We don't want them to be. Another part about illustration is we are actually not only just designing, but we are arranging as well. So you have to arrange your layers in a way that makes sense. You cannot put the eyelashes or the eyelids on top of the eyes. Okay, you have to put them below. That's a process that I've just done there. And now looking at layer, and now I'm going to first of all create a brush that I'm going to be using. I'm going to create a new layer for that. As you can see, those are the eyes on and off. Now first I'll put them off. Now I'll switch them off. Now I'm going to create an eyelid. Okay, sorry, a brush that I'm going to be using I just call it an art brush. And the way you create it, to get your pen tool, click one point right there. Let's change, make sure it doesn't have a fill. So click, and then on the next point. So okay, we now have one point there. The next point, you click and then you drag. Okay, so you click there and then go back. Don't drag, and then go back to the next point and then click and drag, just like that, so that it forms a thin lining. Okay. So of course, when you proceed going the other side, it gives that time. So you can change that to a fill layer now, so that you have a brush that is kind of like this. Now you're going to go select V on your keyboard, or you select that arrow tool, the first one on the top, and now you're going to make a brush. You're going to make this as your brush preset. So go to the brushes panel and then click new, and then to bring new, click add brush and then click OK. Now it will show you the arrows. It will show you that arrow, that will be where it will be. Now you can define your brushes there. I'm going to leave it at add brush 1. And then when you click OK, you will see it's been created down there. Now you feel free to delete this one, that if in case you don't want it. That's what I've just done there. And now when we're going to test out our brush by creating some custom shape, and once you click on the art brush you created, now you can see the difference. Okay, now you see that it has those tapered edges. Okay, we can do it once more. As you can see now, this one doesn't have tapered edges, but that one has tapered edges. So if in case you want it to be tapered, all you have to do is select it. So let me try it again. Again, this one doesn't have tapered edges, but now once I'm going to go select it and then go to the art brush, click the art brush. Now you can see that it's more tapered. Now you can see I've deleted them now. That was just for a quick practice. Now I'm going to go and try to make it work here. Okay, so the idea is you're going to try and because there are very many ways of creating eyelashes, but this is one of the ways that I'm going to be explaining. And again, in future tutorials, I'll be doing the methods that will be helping you to understand how different techniques of making those eyelashes. Okay, so here I've made the eyelash. Now, next, what I want to do is I'm going to go select my pen tool. Now let me zoom in quickly here. I've of course turned off the eyes, that's why you don't see them. Now I get my pen tool and click one and then click on the side and then just drag a little bit, just like that. Now, when you go to the brushes panel and make that, you see that it's not so perfect, and that is because we have to change it. We're going to make some changes to it so that it's much better. Okay, so with our art brush, we're going to decrease its size a little bit. Okay, let's leave that. We're going to go back to the pen tool. Just make again an arc just like that. Click that. You can now go to the art brush and you're going to decrease its size, okay, to about 47%, and click OK. So apply to the stroke. Now you see that it's much better. Okay, now but you can see that the art brush seems like to be inverted in a way. Now we want it to be up the other way around. So we want the sharpest corner to be on top, and the way you do that is by changing the arrow, by going there, arrow direction, and then change the arrow and click OK, apply to stroke, and there you have it. Okay, now this method is kind of similar, the similar thing that you do to the entire the eye section. Now you want to make sure that you follow the eye pattern so that you don't make weird eyelashes. So you're going to just make that once and then click yes, and then after you click the pen tool again, so the shortcut to the pen tool is P, and then make another art brush. If you don't, then you'll just be continuing one line, which is terrible. So whenever you finish like an arc like that, click the art brush and then click P on your keyboard or the pen tool directly. Okay, so there you have like an idea. Now you can decrease the size again if you don't want that, and then click OK, and then it will prompt you apply to strokes, and then they'll become much thinner. So make them as thin as you want. So again, it's just an iterative process for this part. It's really nothing much. Just one point, make an arc like that, and then go and click the art brush. Okay, so for the most part here, I'm going to fast forward. I don't want to waste your time. You're sitting here and watching me kind of do this for all the hundreds of eyelids that I'm going to do. But don't mind another thing. Don't mind the idea of, you see me, my first point is starting within the eye. Don't worry about that, because our actual eyes are actually on top, so they will be hiding that down palette, which is kind of disorganized and all over the eye. So you'll only be seeing the parts that are that are up out of the eye. Okay, so here I'm going to fast forward that, and I'll see you when I'm done. Now you may see now that after doing a lot of you see, I've now made most of them. Okay, as you may see, I've made most of them now. Okay, So I've just been repeating exactly the same process. So don't worry. Now you will see that the eyes, so they are starting within the eyes. Do not worry about that, because when you go back to the layer section and you turn on the eyes, now you see that they are under the eye. Okay, so that is the first method you can use, and we shall be exploring other methods in other videos. Okay, now the next part we're going to be doing is eyebrows. Now the eyebrows, I'm going to be explaining also a different technique that you can also use. And again, this is just trying to follow along the edges of the eyebrows, but trying to make them sharp like this. So one point, and then click back at that point, then click to make like a sharp edge, just like that. We want to, whenever we finish, we want to click that so that we are starting at the same point. So click back there and then click there, so that it makes kind of a sharp edge. It will not always do that, but for the most part, if you're good with it, it will. Okay, so do that again. You're just trying to follow the edges of the eyebrows. Now this can get a little bit tricky, but you have to just, this is a part where you actually just have to be creative, because once you're making those winding arcs and stuff, you're going to have to plan on how you're going to get back to the initial point so that you can close up this shape that you're making right now. Okay, so keep that in mind, that when you're walking around, this is actually one of the most fun parts for me. But again, whenever I'm doing it, I try to keep in mind that I'm within the shapes that I'm working with, and I'm not going overboard with my design here. Okay, so because again, once this shape is closed, we're going to try and make it black, so that it's not really just like the way you're seeing it right now. And try to make sure that you don't just jump over to the end. Find a creative way of getting back to the end. There is no specific rule. This is design. You just have to be creative. This is how you differ from all other people. This is how you make your own designs that are to you yourself. Even if you learn from someone else, this is how you can have something that is unique to yourself. So try to find a creative way of coming back to the beginning, and this is mine. So you can see that now that I'm back to the beginning. And again, once I go over to the this side, again, I'm going to try and do the same thing. Now you can start from either side. I'm deciding to start from this side. Now again, I'm going to try and make an arc that follows. Let me quickly do that. Okay, so I'm going to try and make an arc that follows the eyelash, the eyebrows area, so you can easily see that. Because I don't just want to make something that is a block, because again, there are very many imperfections in the human eyebrows. So that's why I don't make them uniform. That's why you're seeing that I'm not copying and pasting and flipping. I don't do that in any of my designs. I just try to follow it spontaneously. That's when I get something close to realism as much as I want. Okay, so again, as I talked about earlier, creative designs, try to find a way home. You're trying to go back to the first point. So your aim should be to try and find a creative way of getting back. If you do something and you don't like it, chances are it's not really good. So again, as you may see, that I'm trying as much as possible here, and I'm going back and forth, creating those curves. Some of the curves are tending towards up. Again, the human eyebrows are rigid, so they have that capability. But because if you don't understand this technique, again, I'll be explaining it in the hair section when I'm doing the hair, so don't worry. But if you make a mistake, just press Ctrl Z and you'll be all right and good to go. So here again, make sure that you see that V when you're clicking. You should see that V. It will mark that you're starting at the point that inverted V later. Okay, so that's pretty much what I would do for now, and it's not the best, but it can get better. But most especially that area there, I didn't like the way it turned out. It was too rigid, so I just tried to do it again a little bit. Here, as you may see now, the next part is pretty much to just fill in, so selecting both of them at the same time. Okay, probably do that, and then go just flip that over, and now you have a fill of your eyebrows. Okay, so now we've created the eyes and eyelashes. So if you want to see most of these illustrations, I'll be posting them over on my Instagram, so feel free to go check them out. They'll be there first before before I even make a video. So if you want to see them first, the name is james_skj. That's my Instagram handle, and you'll be able to find out, like, you'll be able to see them before I even post them. Okay, take care.